Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hi. It's Kim
And Jennifer.
Jennifer from Fleece and Harmony. I always repeat your name after you say, and Jennifer. I don't know why I do that. I don't know.
I didn't even notice.
Okay, so this is going to be a goofy episode already.
Yeah, we're tired.
Yeah.
We just finished lambing.
We're going to give you a lamb update. Yeah. So this is episode 12. It's May 7th. And it's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful spring day here.
Yeah.
It's really, really nice. And we're Kim and Jennifer, the partners in the Fleece and Harmony Woolen Mill in Belfast, Prince Edward Island in Canada. And their podcast is about knitting and farming and our lives in rural PEI.
Yeah.
So for those of you that have been with us all along, welcome back. Today we're kind of back to our regular format.
Yeah.
And for those of you that maybe are just joining us, welcome to our world, or welcome to our world, as we like to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a beautiful spring week.
Yeah. So May 7th is this will air on the Friday, which is right before the Mother's Day weekend here in Canada. I think Mother's Day is at different times in different places.
I would imagine.
Yeah. Anyway, so for on Sunday, it'll be the celebration of all things motherly. Mm-hmm. So it's great that we're going to have a really good lamb update, and we're going to celebrate all of the knitters in our lives, which were mothers and grandmothers, and I guess who we can say, if we want to really trace back this whole odyssey, it all started then.
Definitely our grandmothers. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a handed down skill.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And a passion of sorts, I guess.
Yes,
yeah.
Exactly. So, but first if you watched the last episode, you know, things were a little bit chaotic around here and kind of sad. And we already have had people asking us about what happened with the election. So the provincial election happened last week after the podcast. And there was a tragedy where one of the candidates, the potential candidates, and his son were killed in a boating accident right before the election. And we were feeling very sad and brokenhearted, I guess, because that was not a very, it was sad and heartbreaking. So that's the only way to say it. It was a real tragedy. We felt gratitude, though, because of the way that all of the political parties handled it. They all took down their signs in his district and left his signs up, and we went through the election, and it was very touching to see how everybody came together and filled us with hope for, you know, a world that's so cynical, especially politics in particular. Anyway, the outcome of the election was that we had the first minority government in Prince Edward Island ever since there have been elections.
Yeah.
And
historic.
And the two parties that had the most seats are really at the opposite end of the political spectrum, per se. And it was really funny because the leaders of the two parties that were the ones that are going to probably form the minority government, I guess, were on a radio talk show, and one was being interviewed, and then the next one was coming in after. And the radio show here on our public broadcaster, CBC, in the morning is aired on TV as well. So you can listen to it on the radio or you can watch it on TV. And the hug that went around the world, I would say, is because these two leaders gave each other a big hug right before the second one was being interviewed. And it just really, I guess, put the cherry on the top of kind of the goodwill that was generated even in something that's not normally full of goodwill.
I have a feeling that their relationship will be a source of pride for Prince Edward Island for the whole upcoming term.
I hope so.
I think it will.
Yeah, I hope so. They're both really good people, actually, and
which is amazing. And I think Josh would be so proud.
Yes,
if he were here to see that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's the update on that, and so I guess that's.
Then we don't know what happened after that.
Yeah.
Then lambs.
Yeah.
Knitters frolic.
Yeah.
Lambs.
Right. And we're exhausted, but glad that the lambs part is mostly over. So maybe we'll just do a lambing update first. So we said we were close to the end the last time, but that actually wasn't true.
That's called denial.
Yeah, we were in denial for sure. So I don't know what we had, about 80 lambs at that point, I guess. and more to go. So
Yeah.
now we're up to today. We just tagged 117.
Wow,
number
that's a
117,
lot. Yeah.
and we have one more ewe to go, and she doesn't really look like she's going to go. She's going to be really a late bloomer, so we probably have another week, and she'll have her lambs. If you follow us on Instagram, there's some pictures of, we have a couple bottle lambs that are hilarious. Even though having a bottle lamb is not hilarious normally.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, but they're really, really funny this year.
Yeah.
They're like Labrador retrievers.
Yeah, and they're chubby and happy and healthy, and it's great. But they're a handful. Like, we can't really pick them up in arms to feed them anymore.
Yeah.
And then if you try to feed them on the ground, they're all fighting each other. They're little woolly savages, I call them. They'll gladly knock the other one off the bottle to get it for themselves. One of them ripped the nipple off and swallowed it.
Yes.
Aggressive.
Yes.
We haven't recovered it yet, but he seems fine.
Yes. So we got the vet, and she said, well, yeah, you just have to see. Hopefully it won't obstruct anything, but that was like a week and a half ago.
He's fine.
He's fine.
He's Bruce.
Fine.
Bruce is his name.
Yeah, Bruce. And
take it easy, Bruce.
Bruce the Bruiser.
Yeah.
So that's the lamb situation. And the weather, if the weather stays like this, we're going to be able to have them outside with their moms pretty soon. So that'll be great.
Yeah,
because that's always fun.
And it's cute. It's a lot of work teaching them to leave the barn all together in a group.
Yes.
Flocking instinct is not strong in our lines.
Yeah, for some reason.
They're kind of stunned.
They feel too safe, which is great.
Yeah. Yeah, but their mums just are like, all right, see ya.
Yeah.
And then we're left gathering up all the squawking, squealing lambs, trying to get them out the door.
And if it takes too long to gather them up, the mums do eventually come back.
Yes, and then you've got them going in both directions. It's wonderfully fun. It usually takes about 2 hours the first day, and then you just kind of cut it in half each day
after about 3 days, they more or less have it. Yeah.
Well, let's hope that's
my memory.
Okay.
It's my memory. Okay, so we have to make a comment about what I'm wearing. You'll notice that I'm wearing the Ramia sweater that Jennifer knit for herself. So during lambing, Jennifer is shrinking.
I've lost a lot of weight.
Yes. We were trying to decide what we were going to wear today. We're going to talk about Jennifer's sweater that she has on in a second. But we were trying to decide what we're going to wear today. And I was originally going to wear this sweater. And horizontal stripes are really not my friend, I don't think. Well, I'm saying that.
I don't think they're anyone's friend.
And it had just a little bit of negative ease. So we decided, well, what am I going to wear? And Jennifer said, try on the Ramia. And look at it. It's gorgeous.
I also think the color looks better on you.
I don't know. It looks nice on you too.
Anyway, it fits you perfectly.
Yes, I think I might have lost a little bit of weight too while we were doing lambing, but because normally your size wouldn't fit me, but it fits me.
I just think the color is great. Anyway, enjoy.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I could knit that for you.
Yeah, thank you. It was a lot of work. I really appreciate it. I'm knit worthy.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
You will look after it.
Yes, I will look at it. Right.
It's probably safer at your place, actually, for being honest.
So we're going to talk about our works in progress first. And I don't know, you didn't bring out your Saint Lunaire.
No, because it's, I'll explain what's happening with it. Do you want me to do that?
Yeah,
So
sure.
the Saint Lunaire I had to drop because I had agreed to do another pretty complicated test knit for Jennifer Beale, the same designer. So I've kind of been in a little bit of a waiting pattern. And of course I was also at the Frolic, and I didn't even take any knitting to Toronto with me. I knew that wasn't going to happen. So I just set it aside so that I would be ready to do this new test knit, which I'm probably casting on this week. I don't think the pattern is quite back from the test or from the tech editor yet. So that Saint Lunaire is it's switched in place with this other pattern I'm testing for her called Berchois. So, and it's really going to be something. The first line of directions already has me nervous. So yeah, and that has to be completed by July 24th. So I'm going to be working on that feverishly. So you'll get to see little bits of it, whatever Jennifer will let me reveal as part of the test knit as we go along.
Okay.
And then my whip that I am working on during knit night, because I clearly am not going to do anything by Jennifer Beale during knit night, because that would just be crazy. But I'm still working on this Virgo shawl by Ash Alberg, part of the Unfolding collection, and this is a delight. And And everybody who comes in loves it. And several people that frequent our shop have cast it on as well because they just love it so much. It's, I think, a perfect knit night project. I mean, you're just a little bit of eyelets. You kind of have to pay a little bit of attention, but and I'm just gonna love it. I love the fabric, and it's just so perfect. I think Ash did a really nice job combining the style, the design with the ELDON lace yarn. It looks beautiful in a pale pastel color. It's very soft and feminine. It's gonna be a nice size when it's blocked out. So I get about a half a repeat done a knit night, and then the rest of the time I'm eating. So that probably looks about right from when I showed it last. It's been 2 knit nights, mind you. Yeah, and I was away. But I really only work on it out here during knit night.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's my...
Because Jennifer started to play the piano again.
Oh, God, she just blurted it out. I was going to tell our mother to make sure she was sitting down first. Mom, I got a piano. Oh... Bad for Mother's Day too. My poor mother. My mother wanted to play the piano.
Yes.
I wanted to ride horses.
Right.
I had to take piano for 10 years. And I'm sure I made my mother's life pretty miserable about it. And I refused to practice. And I absolutely hated it. And then all of a sudden, a few weeks ago, I just decided I wanted to play again. So now I'm playing the piano. Her poor mother probably just fell off the couch and had a stroke.
Yeah.
When you said that.
Happy Mother's Day.
Yeah. Oh, God. And she would say, someday you're going to thank me. I was like, no, I'm not. But there you go. And it's been 30 years. I haven't played for 30 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just picked it up again. So
sorry.
Okay, thanks for that. I'm definitely going to get a phone call. Our mother is the first person to watch this every week or every episode when it goes up. So parents, I guess continue to torture your children because at age 45, they will randomly decide that they were thankful for those piano lessons.
Yes. Much to everybody's surprise.
Yeah.
Including themselves.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Okay, great. I was not expecting that. Okay, so over to your whip.
Okay. So I actually did start working on my Joe Bat's arm. And I actually started with the arm.
We're hilarious today.
Yeah, we find ourselves hilarious.
I think we're giddy. We officially reached the giddy stage of overtired.
Right. So this is amazing, I have to say. I just want to make sure that because I don't have my glasses on, that I have it the right way. All right. So this is, we have a close-up picture of it as well, but this is the sleeve cap, actually. So it's knit down. So this is actually the way that it goes. And it will be on the sleeve like this.
Mm.
And
so nice.
Yeah. And it is pretty time consuming, but yet satisfying because it's so detailed that you really can see the progress that you're making. And I have to say, I'm not sure if Jennifer watches every episode or not, but this girl does not take any shortcuts.
Right.
Like it's perfectly, there is not a stitch out of place. There's not one little
nothing
stitch,
out of pattern.
Nothing out of pattern. It goes right to the end. And if that means that you're going to do a 1/2 cable, like right on the last stitch, then that's what you're doing. So it's really well written and easy to follow, even though it looks very, very complex. It's not difficult. It's just that it's really, really detailed. Obviously not a knit night project either.
No, but I actually think, considering like your typical pace of knitting and how you don't sit there for 6 hours straight until you can't move your arms like I tend to, I think it feels like it's going kind of fast.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
That's why it's satisfying. It is going kind of fast. And I don't use cable needles. So I'm doing all these cables without cable needles, and thanks to my Chiago lace tips, I'm able to do it. And of course, I'm using 100% wool, so you're able to do that. And there's no cables bigger than 2/2, so that helps to make it go faster as well.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm loving it. And this is chart 1 of the sleeve, and I didn't do a swatch for the cable. This will be my swatch. So I am actually going to wash and block this one just to make sure. The pattern calls for quite a lot of positive ease, and I'm not sure that I want how much positive ease that I want. So I have gauge, and it should be exactly right for the pattern. but I will do the swatch just to see how the fabric is and how it is on my arm, because I might go down a size. I'm not sure yet, so that we'll stay tuned for that.
So, oh gosh, so you're prepared to rip that out and go down a needle size?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
No, I won't go down a needle size. I'll knit the smaller size.
Oh, okay.
Because I have gauge.
Right.
It's just a matter of with the positive ease.
Okay.
And our yarn does tend to relax after you wash
Quite
it.
a bit.
And I'm these cables are so beautiful that I'm thinking I might want to block it a little harder than I normally would, just to show off the cables.
For a sweater, yeah.
Yeah. So if I do that, then it's going to give me even a little bit more ease. So yeah.
All
So
to be
that's
decided.
all to be decided. I'm not going to go off pattern with this one because of the way the construction and everything. I don't want to have to start redoing math and everything. So I think that there's enough leeway in the pattern that I can do that. I can either just keep it the way that it is or go down a size. So that's that. It really eats the yarn, I have to say. There's going to be a lot of yarn in this.
A lot of texture.
A lot of texture, but it's really so satisfying. It's really, really nice.
Yeah, looks amazing.
Really nice. So that's the work in progress.
Right.
For that.
So I'm just going to talk about the socks, because somebody asked. I had to stop. I was doing my sock wearing experiment, and I had been up to 10 days, and then I had to take the socks off because I was going to take them to the Knitters Frolic as a sample.
Right.
And so I'm going to resume the sock test tomorrow. Right. So I've actually really missed these socks, but they were in my suitcase, and then they were out here. And I should say thank you to everybody who came out to the Frolic. It was so nice to meet people.
Right.
I even got some baked goods from Rosanna from Italy. Oh my goodness.
Right.
It was just so touching. I got lots of hugs. And I saw quite a few people, and we brought our sock yarn as a show special, because we don't typically sell that anywhere but our own shop and our own online store. And we got to introduce a lot of new people to our brand, I think, and it's kind of cool to have a sheep farmer right there at the yarn show. So it was really cool. I'm already kind of considering going back next year because I had such a good time. And it's a really good show, very well curated. If it is curated, I don't know, all the booths were really, really high quality, really nice stuff. I didn't see anything there where I was like, oh my gosh, who would buy that, or I wouldn't knit with that. I got to meet a few people whose businesses I've been interested in for a while now as sort of like colleagues, and it was great.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so it was a good trip.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, it was fun, and thank you again to everybody who came out. So now all 10 days and counting.
But I have to say, they look absolutely perfect. Like, there's not a mark on them after 10 days of wearing them in rubber boots.
I know, and thank God, because I was a little bit worried because people were going to be touching them, going like, what are these old used socks? But no, they look pretty perfect.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're good.
Really nice.
All right, so we're going to continue on with that.
Yeah, and we'll keep you posted.
Yeah.
Yeah. So today's finished objects we've got lots of them.
Yes.
And not because we knit them.
Nope.
But because the mothers in our lives knit them.
Yes. Mums and grandmoms.
Mums and grandmothers. Yeah. I'm going to just put down my Jo Bat's arm.
Yeah.
It feels really
I'll put it over here.
Okay. We'll put it to the side.
The pile.
So we came up with this idea at the spur of the moment in the last episode, where we said, well, we'll do a Mother's Day thing with baby pictures and everything. So we got some really good ones. So we're gonna show those after. But first we'll talk about the knitwear that inspired us and some neat things that we found. So I guess will we start in chronological order of the age of the item, maybe?
Sure, if you know that. Oh, okay.
So you're probably wondering that the style of sweater that Jennifer is wearing is a little bit...
And it's plastic!
Yeah, so a beautiful 1960s acrylic yarn.
Yeah.
that my grandmother Wenzel made. So that's my mom's mom. Mm-hmm. And I saw her knit, but she knits like a machine. It's so...
Oh, that must be where I get it from.
Yeah.
I was saying that about my knitting.
It's tiny, tiny stitches. And the pattern is, and we did the little wool test just to see if there was any natural fiber in it whatsoever. But
this baby melts.
Yeah. So I don't know if everybody knows that if you have a random ball of yarn and you're not sure what the fiber content is, if it's natural fiber or acrylic or nylon or whatever, you can just snip a little piece of it, put it in a dish, be careful, put a fire, like a match to it, and if it melts, it's acrylic or synthetic fiber, and if it just kind of smolders and turns to ash, it's actually a natural fiber. So trust me, it was a ball of plastic.
You can tell.
Yeah. So I'm going to talk about it because Jen's going to model it, but my mother thinks that it was knit in the 60s, like in mid 60s. And it's still perfect because it's gonna be around. It's gonna be around for 1,000 years. So the little puff sleeves are just sweet, and there's this little detail on the neck, which is like a single crochet, I think, is how it was finished. And the bad thing is, my mother said that she saw her mother wear it once, and then she didn't wear it anymore because the neck is like right up, like really to your neck.
No shaping. It's a slit, like yeah.
So the back, it was knit with a little bit higher, but the front today we would have put short row shaping in there.
Yeah, I wonder if it was a style. I don't know. I'm just tucking it down.
Yeah. Because you don't want to feel like you're choking.
Right.
Anyway, it's totally cool. We have it in our shop. There's like a really wide ribbed band.
Yeah, this is sweet.
Yeah, it's just sweet. And the colors are, really funky.
Yeah. So any ambitious pattern designers out there, we did try to get a hold of the original pattern.
Right.
And my mother, I'm sure it's in her basement somewhere.
Yeah.
But we weren't able to locate it, although we did get another pattern from my mother's.
Yes. Which we'll talk about. Yeah.
So we couldn't find this one, but we'd love to just redo it and update it. And it's quite a fine gauge. And I actually really like the colors now too, like these citrusy kind of colors. We actually have very similar ones we could use to recreate it. So we're kind of tempted to try to write it up or get somebody to write it up.
Yeah, it's really cute.
But just fix the neck.
Yeah, we were so proud to have it. My mother found it among some of my grandmother's things and said, "Oh, you guys maybe want that for your shop." So that's the first one. Then the next oldest thing that we have would be a blanket that my father's mother, Nanny Doherty, made, and also
plastic.
Also, I'm going to be generous and say it might be a wool blend, but I don't think so. It's a little bit shiny.
Oh, maybe.
I don't know. It's quite soft.
Yeah.
Doesn't feel quite as the same as this one.
No.
So we're also now doing a chronological improvement of synthetic fibers.
Right, I think so, yeah.
This one was done. So this would have been knit probably, I remember when she gave it, I think she actually gave it to me for my wedding.
Nice.
So that was a long time ago.
The 80s.
1987. Yeah, so now it's approaching an antique.
Right.
And it's quite big. Like I won't unfold it because
massive,
it's so it's done quite loosely, so it has quite a lot of give to it, and it's not that easy to fold it up, but it has this beautiful fan pattern and the detail on the edging and everything.
Oh, it smells like her place.
And my cedar chest.
Okay, maybe her place. Oh gosh, that's magic.
Yeah.
Neat.
Yeah.
And our grandmother, bless her, was famous for not tying in her ends.
Right.
So generally a hole will form where every ball ended at some point.
Back stitch or mattress stitch was not her forte. In fact, I had to fix it before I came out.
Oh, okay.
There it
so
is.
True
right
enough.
There.
Yeah.
And I'd have to start way back here to get enough thread to actually.
Wow.
Really
so
it.
she must have been under the misapprehension that it would felt similar to 100% wool if you just left it.
Right.
Because that's probably the way they did it, but it doesn't work with this won't felt.
Because her mother spun, so they would have had hand spun on their farm and stuff like that. So
she didn't understand you need to tie in the end. So it's really funny. They all come apart eventually.
Yeah.
But if you're prepared.
Yes.
You can catch it early.
Yes, but unfortunately, I was going to really properly fix it, but I don't have anything nice and bright like that.
Yeah.
Because I only have natural fibers, actually.
Yeah, we'll have to go get some.
Yeah, so I did repair. It was quite long because, of course, once it starts to unravel, it just goes like, but anyway, it's there. So this is lovely, and to be honest, I haven't actually used it, so that's why it's still...
Perfect.
Yeah, smells like her.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Neat.
Yeah, so that's That's one. And she did learn to crochet at one time too, but I don't think there was any crochet work, whereas Nanny Wenzel used to crochet quite a lot as well.
Right. I actually like the ruffle on it too.
Yeah,
It's pretty
it's
little
nice.
edging, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so then next we have another 80s item that we stole, I think. I think our poor mother, definitely a Mother's Day special because our mother's going to get a lot out of this episode. This is where your sweater is. And
If you think you lost it.
in her closet, she would never know.
Yeah.
I actually did replace the buttons because one of the wooden buttons broke or fell off. So I put these pretty pottery buttons that they sell at the Belfast Mini Mills here on it, and it really spruced it up. Yeah. But Kim and I both wear this occasionally, depending. Right. Or I've kind of been hoarding it for the last
I have one of my own.
Yeah, but it's not as nice as this one.
No. It's made out of a different yarn. I didn't bring it out. It has this one. I think it's actually the same yarn.
This is the yarn that went with the pattern, I'm pretty sure.
Right.
Yeah.
And I actually think it's the same yarn, but it's in a light blue color. Yeah. And this one, every time Jennifer has this on, I'm always saying we have to make a yarn like that.
We love it.
Yeah.
You know, really, it's kind of a cute design, and it's obviously very timeless. I mean, I love wearing this.
Yeah.
And sorry, Mom. Children are so selfish.
It's really cozy.
There's your sweater.
Yeah.
And if Dad's wondering where his ski sweater is, same place. And so then the final thing, which I've had, my nanny just died a few years ago since we've moved here. And I went to go see her when she was 94. That was my last visit where I got to see her in her own home. And she gave me 2 pairs of socks and these mittens. And my thumb is way down here. But I did wear the socks. And actually, I'm still wearing them because, again, they'll be here for 1,000 years. But I'm just saving these. These are just like a little keepsake. So she literally gave these to me when she was 94 years old. Yeah. And so pretty recent. Yeah. Just 5-6 years ago. Right. And I've kept them, and they're just a keepsake. And she loved the bright pink cotton candy acrylic. Yeah. Can't get too much of it.
Yeah, that was her thing.
And the socks were the same color, same yarn, and then I got a yellow pair as well. Right. Yeah. So that's my most cherished knitted item. So if there's any doubt, grandparents and parents, when you're knitting all of these items, even though we hear a lot that ungrateful children put them in the dryer. Yeah. I just want to say stick to acrylic, I guess. Yeah. But if there's any doubt that they become treasured keepsakes, there shouldn't be, because we obviously have, and this is just a small selection of things we could have dug up to talk about today, but they can be really great keepsakes.
And I mean, you just saw the reaction when you smell that blanket. And it brings back all the memories of our grandmother.
Yeah, I'm a little choked up about it. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, yeah.
If that disappears.
Yeah. So the next thing is a funny mother's knitting story.
Yeah. All right. So I mentioned earlier that we had asked our mother for the pattern for this cute little sweater. Because we thought we'd like to knit an updated version, and our grandmother knitted or whatever. And instead she brought us a bunch of her old Lopi books. And she had knit a lot of these. It's not even real Lopi. Oh my gosh, it's a knockoff. Okay. Reynolds Icelandic patterns. And this pattern leaflet was $3.50. And there's about 12 sweaters in here. Yeah. And so I was with my mother on the bed, kind of having a bonding moment, looking through, pretending I was 5, I think, because I remember the house that we were in. And they're all named after people. So we have Brigitte and Eric.
And Erica.
Yeah, and Sigrid. They're like Norwegian names or Icelandic names, I guess. And then I decided I was going to make a comment to try to contribute to the conversation, and I decided I was going to comment on this one, which is called Newt, K-N-U-T, but instead what I said as a 5-year-old who just learned to read, I said, "Oh, Mummy, I like this one." So I transposed the 2 middle letters in the spelling. Yes. And I think you'd have to know our mother, but it was actually, she had no time to react whatsoever. She just burst out laughing so hard.
Yeah.
And I still remember it to this day, and I think she does too.
Yeah, we all do.
Yeah, so that was Newt that I told you to make, only not.
Yes. You were expanding your vocabulary.
Yeah, so when this showed up, instead of this, I was like, oh, okay, well, this is important to have too. That's a big memory.
Yes, that's a big memory. We must be feeling very nostalgic. We were talking about this at midnight last night too.
Yeah. Anyway, so oh well.
Yeah.
Unfortunate. Your name's Newt. I don't know how. Maybe it's Knut. I don't know how you're supposed to say it, but not the way I said it.
No.
At 5.
No.
I had no idea. Anyways, all good.
Yeah.
Enough about that.
Off track. Okay, so that was it. So part of the Mother's Day that we wanted to do was to show baby pictures as well. So we have a couple
did last time.
Yeah, we showed ours.
Yeah.
And we asked people to send us their baby pictures, and there were some really cute ones. So we're going to show them. There's a couple that we have, so we're going to show them one at a time.
Okay.
So the first one is Anne. Anne is actually did some test knitting for us, and she is
sample knitting,
knitting, and we just love her. You have to aspire to be a blocker the way she is on her.
I think we talked about her during the finished mittens episode too. Yeah,
she's unbelievable. Like her knit, it's just the finishing is a big thing for Anne. Yeah. Anyway, she sent us this picture, and you can see that she has knitted booties on, and her mom is holding her, and her mother didn't knit, so she wasn't sure where the booties came from, but obviously somebody thought that was a great baby gift, which it is. They're really cute, and she was 5 months old in this picture. And then the next one is this is really funny. Catasia 61. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right. I'm just going by the Ravelry names. So here she is in her brother's clothing. She said she got into the laundry basket and decided to dress herself. But I think it's the smile on the face. And she says that in her family, she's still asked to make that face.
Oh, great. Okay.
So
Don't you always regret those things?
Yeah. I'm sure she's thrilled.
Yeah. Just like getting asked to tell the Newt story all the time.
Exactly. So then there's the pictures from 5 Doodles. So I actually burst out laughing. And the more I looked at this picture, the more I laughed, not because it's so funny. The picture is not really funny, you can see. But it's her and her twin sister, I think she said. And you can see they're dressed with their little matching garter knit scarves. She says she thinks they were pink, or they were probably pink, so I'm assuming she got a lot of pink knitted things as twin sisters. But the amount of snow that's there, and I guess they were sent out to do the shoveling, but look at the teeny tiny shovel. And she said yes, and what made it even more interesting was there was only one.
Gosh. You tried that on PEI, the wind will have blown it back in before you even get 2 feet.
Exactly. So that's really funny. And then Suzanne the Dreamer sent us this, and I saved this one for last because this is the one with the most obvious knitwear. And all I can say is, what a hat.
And Suzanne's a great customer of ours. Yeah. Actually, one of our very first customers. I think she's probably one of our very first online orders ever when we launched our store. Yeah. So hi, Suzanne.
Yeah. So we just love this picture. Yeah. So thanks for sending. So thanks to everybody that sent their pictures, because it was really fun to look at them. So. Yeah. Okay. So that's that subject off the list. So next there's a question which is actually a pretty good one about how many skeins of yarn can you get from one sheep's fleece. So of course there's not a single answer to that, but we'll tell you a little bit about how it works so that you'll understand how many skeins you can get. So depending on the breed, a sheep's fleece can be somewhere between 3 or 4 pounds all the way up to 17 or 18. In our flock, because we have Corriedales have a heavier fleece, and Merinos I think can probably go even higher. Yeah, well just think
of Shrek the Merino that didn't get sheer, and his was 40 or 50.
Yeah.
So it's really like, as long as you want to let it grow, it'll just keep growing.
Yes. But I would say the average is about 6 or 7 pounds. So you get, when you shear a sheep, you get about 6 or 7 pounds of usable wool. And when I say usable, it's because they, when we shear, we just remove the belly wool, and sometimes the neck wool, it doesn't even get in the bag because it's usually has quite a lot of vegetation and dirt in it. So if you start with 6 or 7 pounds of raw wool, in our flock, when you wash it, you lose about 35 to 40% of the weight. So you end up with, my God, I can't do the math in my head, but 4 pounds, let's say you get 4 pounds of clean fleece. Then you have to process it, and the machines use up a little bit of that, so you probably lose another 5 to 10% depending on how long the fleece is and things like that. So you're left with about 3.5 to 4 pounds roughly of fiber that you can spin into yarn. But after that, there's not really any more loss. So then that's what you end up with. So from 6 or 7 pounds of fleece, you end up with about 3.5 pounds of yarn. So it's about half by the time everything is said and done. And that would be depending on how it's spun. We spin 100 gram skeins mostly, which would be a quart. You get 4.5 skeins out of a pound. I'm mixing up all the systems because we're bilingual in measurements here.
And imperial, yeah.
Imperial.
It's weird.
So that's it. So you get quite a few. But we had remember Gordon's fleece?
Yes,
we
love
did.
Gordon.
Yes, we did a custom spin for a woman that had a ram named Gordon. And it was a beautiful fleece, and I think she got 27 skeins of yarn.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really fantastic. And she knit these beautiful sweaters, so she got a couple sweaters out of it. And
Way to go, Gordon.
Yeah, Gordon was
a joy.
We loved Gordon.
Yeah.
So that's the answer to that. So not one answer, but there you have roughly the calculation of what you can get. So I guess that's it for today.
Yeah, I don't know how long that was, but it seemed like a lot of fun.
Yeah, we laughed a lot, like we usually do. So we'll just ask if you're still here.
Thank you.
Thank you, and don't forget to hit like or subscribe if you haven't subscribed
to our
yet.
channel.
Subscribe to our channel. And we'll put all the links and everything in the show notes as we always do.
Yeah, and we love all your comments. Keep them coming. And we are getting some good traction with YouTube, getting served to more viewers, potential viewers, by all of the engagement. So the likes and hitting the subscribe and the comments all help our podcast get seen, which of course helps us stay in business. So we really appreciate and plus we just love reading the comments. So it's so great to get feedback. And I have a feeling we're going to hear from a lot of mums and grandmoms this time.
Yes.
We've just been like, some serious confessions have taken place here.
Right. So we wish everybody a good 2 weeks, and we'll see you back here.
Yeah, with
same time, same place.
We don't know. We're just recalibrating post lambing and trying to get our lives back together.
So we'll see what the next 2 weeks brings us.
Yeah. So thanks everybody.
Okay, thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.